Hello, everybody. My name is Marcin Skrzypek, and I will introduce where I work, where I live, what I do in a few words. It's my first time on Zoom, so if anything goes wrong, please be patient and give me a while to organize everything. So first, I'll like to share with you a few internet sites. So let's try how it works. So first of all, this is where I work. It's a cultural municipal institution, the Grodzka Gate and then Theatre Center. I'm sitting here in this building. And I deal there with the culture of space. It's such a separate program called the Forum for the Culture of Space. That is a platform for discussing the quality of space for both inhabitants and experts and professionals. This is my page, which I edit, many various topics on public space. So that's everything for as far as my introduction. And as to the plan of my presentation, at the beginning, I wanted to share the half an hour time into 3 times 10 minutes to devote 10 minutes for every subject. But since they overlap, I decided just to give you inspiration, to give you hints about challenges of in public space in Lublin, in imagining public space in Lublin, and to help you to choose. And then you can expand from that, asking questions, me and your mentors, and deal and choose what you like. So first of all, you have to learn that Lublin has a very interesting and characteristic landform, because it is located on hills. So this is Lublin. This is the old city where I'm here now, the oldest part of Lublin, and all this area is on a hill. This is on this side. This hill is the most steep, and it is surrounded by 2 car lanes from the north and from the south. So it is not a flat city, you cannot solve, for example, transportation problems in a typical way. It is quite easy to move from the west to east, but quite difficult from the north to south. Here, I would like to share with you another view of Lublin, historical. Let me choose it. Here it is. I lost it, unfortunately. So I have to choose another view. So this is a zoom onto the city center. We have the old city now here, and 2 valleys from the north and from the south. And as you can see, these dark lines mark steep slopes. So all problems for pedestrians, for disabled people and elderly people as to getting to the city center involve overcoming these heights here. So this is one of the major problems for pedestrian pedestrian traffic. So let's now move to city transport, because since we see Lublin from above, so we can deal first with general problems. So this is the scheme of the city transport in Lublin. As you can see, it's organic, because at the beginning Lublin had the web of the network of city public transport based on the rule that you should get everywhere directly, because then, about, let's say, 50 years ago, Lublin was smaller and simpler. And then all the lines were simply developed organically. So some were prolonged, some were curved. So now we have such a complicated network. And when you look at how such systems are solved in the world, you can see that the rule is completely different. This is the scheme of metro system in Moscow. So you have rings and concentrical lines from the center to the outskirts. So this system is based on changing lines. Our system is based on getting directly to the destination without changing lines. This is the old, let's say, assumption. But Lublin has good conditions for such a system based on rings. As you can see, here is the system of rings, allowing the largest ring allows to go around Lublin, and within the city we have smaller rings that can be used for public transport, but they are not. Okay, now I'll share with you another picture. Let me see if I can do it. I have to. Okay. I have to find it. Yes, there it is. This is the assumption of Lublin plan, and at the same time, more or less the structure of the city today. This plan comes from the 50s, 60s, and it takes advantage of the fact that Lublin is located on hills, on flat hills. So the planners decided to build one district on each such a flat area, and to add to it one district center. So we have a city center with the main services, and district centers around it with everyday services, let's say. This was the assumption. Since then, city developed not quite in this direction, but generally, as you could see on the rings, there is some, let's say, remaining from the original idea, which can be used for public transportation. Okay, let's now switch to more to problems of pedestrians and the disabled people and elderly people. Okay, I have problem with accessing. Okay, so this is the general view of Lublin, and we have now about 240,000 cars, passenger cars in Lublin. So it's about 700 passenger cars for 1,000 people. So it's quite a lot, and this number grows. These data are estimated data from the data that were published in previous years, and they are estimated on the rate of the growth. And what it means that we have so many cars. The cars have two dimensions. One dimension is when they move, in a way, one result impact on space is when they move, and another is when they stand. And we have a great problem with parking cars. These 240,000 cars means that they need for parking in one place, just in one place, about 2.5 square kilometers, which means that we have in Lublin a parking area of the size of such a one district, or a district like this. So we have one district devoted only for cars that park in one place, but of course they park in different places. So when they park in at night in one place, during the day they move to another place. So they need another, in a way, district to park in a different place. This of course causes lots of problems on the crossings between public transportation pedestrians, and this so now we move to the problems of public transportation in connection with pedestrians. Public transportation in connection with pedestrians has three dimensions. So one dimension is lines, how lines connect, cross. So I mentioned about that already. Another dimension are bus stops, and that concerns, let's say, local pedestrian traffic within the area of bus stops. And another very important issue, if we plan a transportation system based on changing lines, which is public transport nodes, so places where you can change lines. So here we can see the model node. As far as I know, there are not many of such nodes in Lublin. Maybe only one, but I'm not sure. Here is a crossing, a big crossing of wide car lanes, and as you can see, on each direction there is a bus stop here, 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 and here, and all the bus stops are very close to one another to a maximum rate, and every stop bay is half open from the direction of the crossing. So the car, when it turns right here, finds itself directly at the bus stop, and in a similar way here. there is no bus lane here, but so there should be perhaps. But anyway, the bus stops directly behind the crossing. So this is our problem, that we don't have many of such nodes in Lublin. For example, here, this is the center of the city. Let me show you how it looks from above. So this is the old city where I'm here now, more or less. This is this lifeline, as we call it. So the axis of city center, and we are talking about this crossing. As you can see, it's a very important crossing for those who come from the north to the south and back. And now this road is rebuilt, but no node for public transportation is planned here. So this is one of our challenges.